Hi. Howdy, Angel from Hell here. We're going back at it again with another weapon review and montage. What are we doing on you ass? SMGs, that's right. Now I know this ain't an SMG, but it's the closest thing I got. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, we have the MP5 10mm. Got sights, grips, laser light attachments, and a suppressor. I personally prefer the SRO, the angled grip, the light, and suppressor. Personally, just because I like to get those ADS flicks, and also a lot of these attachments, and you'll notice, are mainly based off of looks. I just like the look of certain things. The MP5 10mm, it runs really well. The 10mm round hits hard. One thing that people say with SMGs is should run in automatic. However, with this MP5 10mm, you can quite frankly run it in semi-auto and treat it like a rifle. It hits that hard. It does really well against armor with AP. And against limbs with even with AP rounds. Fire rate is decent too, in case you do want to throw it into that full auto mode and run around like that. That works just fine, but honestly, do how you like it. This one is very versatile. The MP5, I personally call it the modern because of the Picatinny rails that it has. This is also another fairly robust gun, has all the attachments just same as before. I just run the combat grip on this one. Again, for looks, again, I'm not really caring too much about the recoil control or anything, because you should be able to control the recoil on your guns and just learn that and get good with them, personally, in my opinion, and that's how I treat it. Again, this is a 9mm SMG, and 9mm, they have this problem where they're just weak in this game. Even with AP, they don't seem to go through armor very well. They seem to stop, and you're going to have to put like half a mag if you accidentally hit majority into the armor. It's just going to have to happen, so you should always run this in full auto. One, so that way you can get multiple rounds onto the limbs if you hit there, and two, just because you're going to have to put a lot onto the target to drop them if you need to drop them. And same with the Classic. I'm honestly going to rope these two together. Only thing really different with the Classic is that it doesn't have the Picatinny rail, so you don't get the grip, even though it's kind of bugged out and looks like it has a grip. You don't get a grip. You could put a light on it, but it's a lot weaker than the other flashlights. That's something I've noticed. And again, both of them 9mm, so they're weak, and you're just going to put a lot onto them. And quite frankly, if you want to choose between these two, it really comes down to looks. They operate pretty much the same recoil, same control. But I would, honest to God, I just recommend going the 10mm route with the MP5. Now on to the next one, the MP7. This is one of the new ones that just got recently released. Came along with the P90 and the SPC9, which we'll get to. The MP7 is finally where we get to see in this list some S-tier weapons in the SMGs, in my opinion. This weapon, the 4.6 rips through armor pretty fucking easily. It's a tiny bullet, so it should. You can put 2-3 rounds onto a target and they'll drop. So again, you can run this in semi-auto and do just fine. I know I told you full auto for SMGs, but this is one that can actually run just fine. Again, attachments, full thing. Again, I'm just saying this up for looks, really. Especially when it comes to optics. Optics, you get a lot of choices with the SMGs, but really, only thing you gotta choose from is just how the look of it is. Like, some of them do take up a lot of screen space, and you don't get to see a lot through some of the views of some optics over others, but really does come down to looks. If you really want the meta sight, just run the SRO when available. It's the best one. Now we're on to the MP9. Again, falls back to the 9mm. If I were to choose between the MP5 and the MP9, I probably would choose the depends. If I'm running full auto only, I'm choosing MP9 because of the fire rate. It has about the same amount of damage, but the fire rate is higher. It might be a little bit weaker because of the shorter barrel, but it's about the same, and the fire rate is just higher on the MP9 over the MP5. So if you really do just want to run some 9mm SMG, I would urge you to the MP9 over the MP5. MPX, I kind of like this gun a lot. Unfortunately, another 9mm. Fire rate is decent, but it's a 9mm, and quite frankly, these 9mm SMGs, I will not be touching them because I prefer different calibers. The P90 is a fantastic weapon. Attachments for this thing, you don't get to choose a grip just like the MP5, but you don't really need to because there's no real recoil. Suppressor is decent, controls the recoil on that, makes all the SMGs, when you throw that suppressor on there, it sounds like an airsoft gun, and I love that. So, but yeah, with the P90, you get 50 rounds, 51 with one in the chamber, of 5.7. So tears through armor, no fucking problem. 50 rounds, you can throw that thing in full auto and mag dump 3 guys and still have some ammo left over in 1 magazine, and you're still like it's pretty decent. Like, it's huge. If you need the best SMG, it is by far hands down the P90. Just so you guys know. SPC9, this is another one of those new ones, just like the P90. Says also a 9mm, unfortunately. It's pretty shit in the 9mm form. I kind of hate it. I really do hate the 9mm and what they did to him in this game, because you gotta put like 15 to 20 rounds if you're hitting armor to kill someone. It is insane. But the SPC9 has the highest fire rate out of all the 9mm and may have the highest fire rate of all the guns in general. It is ridiculous. So if you are, this is where I'm going to say it now, this one takes the cake over the MP9. In my opinion, if you're going to run a 9mm, you should run the SPC9 and put that thing in full auto, because that's going to be your best bet. And now on to the UMP45. This is weird. Attachments are full go with it. Again, comes down to your personal preference. I'm running the SRO Combat Grip Suppressor Light just because I like that. It just looks cool to me. The pill suppressor also just looks insanely dope. I just love the wrap. But it's alright. Fire rate is god awful with full auto. It's like do. You're like a first grader trying to type on a keyboard for the first time. It's that slow. And the firepower is alright. It's weird in the sense that sometimes it feels like I'm having to put a lot of rounds on target, because it's 45. It doesn't go through armor that well. But then sometimes it does. Sometimes it does do really well, and I'm only putting 2 rounds into a guy and they drop. So I don't know. It's a weird one. If you're looking to have some fun, I'd say run the UMP. It's a fun one. It is definitely entertaining in the terms of, like, if you're looking to have a challenge, run it. But I mean, it's alright. It's alright.
Come now. Surely we can be friends. I know so much about you. I love you. Look at everything I've done for you. You'd be nothing without me. Why don't you answer me? I bet you're busy talking to some fucking slut. Fucking skank. Is she hotter than me? Would you fuck me? Are you gay? You blocked me on Facebook, and now you're going to die. You're going to die.
Knock him down. Have a big fist.
Alright, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something. Leave a comment down below what your favorite SMG is, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!